Chapter 2, Lesson 4, Filipino Values and Moral Development. Filipino values refers to the set of values that the majority of the Filipino have historically held important in their lives. What are those strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino character? Strengths of the Filipino character. So first, pakikipagkapwa-tao or regard for others. Filipinos are very sensitive to the quality of interpersonal relationships and are very dependent on them. Family orientation. Family is the source of personal identity, emotional, and material support. It shows or it gives genuine and deep love for the family. Joy and humor. It is often playful, sometimes cynical, sometimes disrespectful. We laugh at those we love and at those we hate, and make jokes about our fortune, good and bad. Flexibility, adaptability, and creativity. Filipinos have a great capacity to adjust and to adapt to circumstances and the surrounding environment, both physical and social. We Filipinos are very creative, resourceful, adapt at learning, and able to improvise and make use of whatever is at hand in order to create and produce. Hard work and industry is to raise one's standard of living to possess the essentials of a decent life for one's family. Also, combined with the right opportunities and incentives, stimulate the Filipino to work very hard. Faith and religiosity. The faith of the Filipino is related to bahala na, which instead of being viewed as defeatist resignation, may be considered positively as a reservoir of psychic energy, an important psychological support in which we can lean during difficult times. And lastly, for the strengths of the Filipino character is ability to survive. Filipinos have an ability to survive, which is manifested in our capacity for endurance despite difficult times, and in our ability to get by on so little. So, Filipinos make do with what is available in the environment. So, moving on to weaknesses of the Filipino character. Extreme personalism. Personalism is also manifested in the necessity for the establishment of personal relationships before any business or work relationship can be successful. Because of this personalistic view, Filipinos have difficulty dealing with all forms of personal stimuli. We tend to be uncomfortable with bureaucracy, with rules and regulations, and with standard procedures, all of which tend to be impersonal. We tend to ignore them or we ask for exceptions. Extreme family-centeredness. Family is one of the Filipinos' greatest strengths. In the extreme, it becomes a serious flaw. Lack of discipline. It is an attitude towards time and space which manifests itself in lack of precision and compulsiveness. Passivity and lack of initiative. It is generally passive and lacking in initiative. Also, strong reliance on others and high tolerance for inefficiency, poor service, and even violations of one's basic right. Colonial mentality. Filipinos have a colonial mentality which is made up of two dimensions. First is lack of patriotism or an active awareness, appreciation, and love of the Philippines. And the second one is an actual preference for things foreign. Colonial mentality is manifested in the alienation of daylight from the roots and from the masses, as well as in the basic feeling of rational inferiority that makes it difficult for Filipinos. Kanya-kanya syndrome, also evident in personal ambition, in drive for power and status that is completely insensitive to the common good. And lastly, for weaknesses of the Filipino character is lack of self-analysis and self-reflection. Joking about the most serious matters prevents us from looking deeply into the problem. In the face of serious problems, both personal and social, there is lack of analysis or reflection.